The effort to locate missing Buffalo Police diver Craig Lehner remains a search and rescue operation. Michael J. DeGeorge, spokesman for the Buffalo Police Department, said Saturday morning. Boats from multiple agencies are on the scene, divers are back in the water, a K-9 search team is combing the shoreline, and the Air 1 helicopter from the sheriff's office is up in the air above Broderick Park, looking for the missing member of the Buffalo Police Department's underwater recovery team. Homicide detectives are also at the park. Lehner went into the Niagara River at the foot of West Ferry Street during a training exercise Friday and did not come out. Further updates from police are expected later this morning. The search for Lehner, a 34-year-old police diver and full-time K-9 unit officer, started at about 12:50 p.m. Friday and stretched until 9 p.m., with portable floodlights on the shore. 4 rescue boats equipped with sonar conducted a grid search in the swift waters off Broderick Park, and underwater robots scoured the river's bottom. Before the identity of the officer was released Friday night, several police sources provided the Buffalo News with his name, explaining that his family members had been notified and some were at the scene, keeping vigil. Lehner's fellow divers repeatedly searched the 25-foot deep water off Bird Island Pier, but they were called to shore at dusk to avoid the possibility of more tragedy. Unfortunately, this is a very, very dangerous area to dive in, said Buffalo Police Lt. Jeff Rinaldo, who would not speculate on what might have gone wrong Friday morning. The water moves anywhere from 12 to 15 knots, and under the water here there was a number of serious obstacles, debris, downed trees, rocks, shopping carts, cars. Over the years things found themselves in the water right there. It is extremely dangerous and that's why our team trains for these situations. Other police explained that the team trains there because practicing in the swift currents enables them to be prepared for hazardous missions when called upon. Visibility beneath the water, Rinaldo said, was somewhat decent, about 10 feet, at the time the team was training. First responders from about 15 agencies, including from Canada, were taking part in the search. A.Shields, Lehner's 4-year-old German Shepherd K9 unit partner, was at the scene for a short time. Lehner named the dog Shield last year in honor of Buffalo police officer James A. Shields, 36, who was killed in the line of duty in October 2002 when his patrol vehicle crashed into a tree on Delaware Avenue while he was responding to a robbery call. Lehner, who is not married, joined the police department in 2008 and served in the Army National Guard with deployments to Iraq and the U.S. military base with Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. Fellow officers said Lehner is well liked and devoted to his job. Asked how local police were coping with this tragedy happening to one of their own, Rinaldo said, "We're a family. As you saw, every uniform, from here to Rochester, was offering assistance. We've pulled together." We have a job to do right now. There will be time for emotions after we get our job done. As evening approached Friday, the effort had taken on signs of a recovery mission. The sonar boats had increased the span of their grid from near the shore to the middle of the river and further north, away from the pier. The 14-member underwater recovery team, Rinaldo said, conducts monthly practices in the waters off the foot of West Ferry, and Friday was one of those practices. The U.S. Coast Guard, which provided a 45-foot response boat to the search effort, said crews discovered the divers' tender cable had parted, according to a news release from the Coast Guard's Great Lakes District. A Coast Guard helicopter from Detroit also aided in the search along with the Air 1 helicopter from the Erie County Sheriff's Office and another from the U.S. Border Patrol. The Coast Guard also reported a diver's secondary dive tanks were discovered on the surface of the river, but Rinaldo told reporters the tanks were not connected to the missing Buffalo Police diver. At about 4:15 p.m., police sources told the news team searching the waters off the Bird Island Pier found a glove of the type worn by members of the dive team. A Buffalo police photographer took pictures of it before it was taken from the water. City of Tonawanda Police Captain Fredric Foels, whose department provided one of the sonar search boats, said the waters off the park move at 10 to 12 miles per hour. They are doing the best they can out there, but along the shore I'm sure there are a lot of heavy hearts, said Foels, as he watched the search efforts from the park. It's in God's hands, said Buffalo Police Chaplain Bilal Abdullah. We hope for something positive. The Buffalo Fire Department deployed crews to various spots downstream along the Niagara River to keep a lookout for a body in the water, according to department radio traffic. The Grand Island Fire Department was also deployed to maintain a lookout at River Oaks Marina. And one of the department's boats was providing sonar assistance off Broderick Park. I would estimate there are a dozen to 15 agencies assisting us all the way up to Grand Island and on the other side of the border, said Michael J. DeGeorge, spokesman for the Buffalo Police Department, and Mayor Byron W. Brown, who visited the scene. Divers from departments around the area, including the city of Tonawanda and Hamburg, also assisted in the search. Before the day turned tragic, Stephen Chamberlain said he and a companion had arrived at the park in the late morning. We showed up here around 11 a.m. when the divers were just going into the water, Chamberlain said. We were here to go fishing, and we moved along because we didn't want to get in the way of the dive team. Chamberlain and his fellow angler returned after noticing a number of emergency vehicles in the area. When we came back, we just learned one of the divers was missing, Chamberlain said. I asked a border patrol officer what happened. He told me one of the divers' rope broke. Harold McNeil and T.J. Pignataro contributed to this report.